Hey everyone, welcome to another Frontier tutorial. My name's Sparta. Happy to have you here. Before we get started, I just want to give a big shout out to our analyst Karen, who did a lot of work helping me put this video together and making sure that I did the best job I could for you guys. So, lately in the Saloon, we've been getting quite a few questions about trading legacy with Bitcoin, specifically what broker we recommend people use, and how exactly to go about using that broker, because a lot of you guys have been trading crypto exclusively and aren't necessarily used to a legacy broker. So this video should hopefully tell you everything you need to know to get started trading legacy with Bitcoin. After you register using the link in the description, you'll land on this page here. This is the SimpleFX web broker page. This is where you're going to be doing all your work. Now, if I can just bring your attention to the left here, you'll see all the different assets that you can trade in this neat list here. Here's a search bar so that you can find exactly what asset you want to trade. On the right here, there is this news/chat box thing, which I consider useless. I think it just gets in the way, so let's go ahead and close that out. So first off, we need to fund our accounts. And the way we're going to do that's very simple. Go up here on the upper left, click Accounts and Deposits. Now, you're going to be depositing into a live account, right? Because you're going to be trading actual BTC, your own money. So let's go ahead and add funds. Click on Bitcoin here, deposit, and it'll spit out an address right here. Hopefully you've done Bitcoin transactions quite a few times by now. You know how this works. Within an hour or so, you should see the BTC that you sent to SimpleFX pop out in your account balance. Cool. So now our account's funded. In order to go ahead and trade the live amount, actually, you want to go to the upper right, click on Live here, and it's going to display the amount that you sent to your wallet here. So that's what you're going to be using to trade. Go ahead and click on there. For the purposes of this video, though, I'll be using the demo account balance. So we're ready to get started trading. Bring your attention over here again. We have these symbols. Let's see something that I like to trade very often, which would be US oil. Click under commodities here. We see oil. Here is the price that people are trying to buy at, and here's the price that people are trying to sell at. If you click on the icon itself, or excuse me, the ticker, it'll display a few different options. You can open the chart. So let's go ahead and open the chart. Here's WTI crude. You can open a new order, which we'll do shortly. You can look at the symbol information, which we'll also do shortly, or you can add or remove the asset to your favorites list here. So let's go ahead and change this to candles real quick since we're more familiar with that. Now I'm sure you're wondering, Sparta, what about leverage? Well, leverage here is going to work a little bit differently than it does on your normal crypto exchange like BitMEX. So let's go right here. We'll press that little Manage Accounts tab, and you can see here the leverage. Now, like I said, it works a little bit differently, so don't be alarmed when you see you can go up to 500 times. What this basically signifies is the required amount that you'll need to open a position. So as long as you're mindful about your position size, you can comfortably trade up to 500 times leverage. If you're a little bit confused about that, just drop a question in Classroom and we'll be sure to help you out. So for our examples here, let's go to 100. Yep, cool. So now we're at 100 times leverage. Let's see the symbol information. Now, every single asset that you can trade on here, you'll want to check what the required margin is first, because that's going to give you your actual effective leverage, right? So despite the fact that we have 100 times leverage, the effective leverage is actually 25x, or 1 to 25, because your effective leverage is always going to be the leverage that you've selected divided by the number that you see displayed here. In this case, 4, which is how we get 1 to 25. You can see a ton of other information displayed here, including the category, the contract size, every lot, that is 1, right? If your position size is 1, you're trading 100 contracts. Keep that in mind. Here is your overnight interest rates that you'll be paying if you're long or if you're short. Also, there is a 3-day swap that you need to be aware of. Go ahead and ask about that if you're a little bit confused or you don't know what that means. The day of the next triple swap charge would be Friday. Here's the minimum increment, the minimum size, and the maximum size. You can trade up to 100 lots. Cool. So let's go ahead and open a position. You can see here, let's just do one lot for now. The required margin for one lot at 100x leverage is going to be 0.059 BTC. Below that, you can see the take profits, which you can put right here, and the stop loss, which you can set preemptively right here as well. I'll show you how to do that after you've placed your order in just a second. But to demonstrate my point about how the leverage works, let's go over here and divide our leverage by 2. So now that we've selected 50x leverage, let's go ahead and look at what change it affects in the order size, or excuse me, in the required margin. You can see now that when we're trying to place an order for one lot, it's going to double the amount of BTC we have to put up to open up the order. So let's market sell or short oil for one lot with this position size here. Now, there's something to keep in mind. Right here is the FIFO tab, right? That stands for first in, first out. And when you're trading with FIFO engaged, it'll trade just like you would on BitMEX. So let's say I have this position of 1 and I want to close some of it. I would do it the same way that I do it on BitMEX. Oh, we would be buying actually, my bad. Let's say I want to close half of it. So you can see that the position has been reduced by 0.5 because I was short for 1 and then I bought 0.5. You can do the math yourself. Now, if you click on the position, you'll see that there's a take profit column and a stop loss column. You would normally, when you're entering a trade, have these predetermined, but let's say you want to go back and change them. So I can edit it by clicking on it, and let's say I want my take profit on my short to be $52, and I want my stop loss to be $54. That's exactly how you do that. So if I want to close a certain amount of my trade here, we can go ahead and close 0.25 by pressing this little X here and then closing at the market price. You can see that our position size has been reduced appropriately. Now, if I want to just press the eject button and close everything at once, I could go right here on this blue square and close the entirety of my position at market. Cool. So let's try and demonstrate it with FIFO disengaged. So you'll see that things work a little bit differently here. A lot of times, if you're doing a trade that involves a lot of profit taking, or if you're using a specific strategy where you have a main position and you're trying to hedge, you'll be using this. And it works a little bit differently. I'll demonstrate it for you right now. So let's do our original position size of 1. We're going to short it for one lot. And then we can add a long with a value of 0.5. So you'll see that your effective position size is still 0.5, but this right here signifies that there are 2 components to this position here, and they are a short of one lot and a buy of 0.5, giving us a net value of 0.5 short. So hopefully you get an idea of how that works. Now we can go ahead and close that long. And you can see that it's, again, increased to 1 since our long has closed. That's our net position. Go ahead and close that now. So if you want to trade like you do on BitMEX, just make sure that you're keeping FIFO toggled on. And if you want to try out some different hedging or take profit strategies, just go ahead and leave it toggled off. Now you'll notice on the bottom right here, there's a few different amounts that are displayed. You can control what's displayed here by clicking on these 3 dots and toggling what you want to see and what you don't want to see. So typically, I like to keep balance, equity, margin level, and free margin on. Let's go ahead and add margin as well. So let's open up another oil position just to demonstrate how this works. Let's do a new order. Let's go with 1 again. Submit. Okay. So now we're long for one lot. Now you'll see here, my margin level is displayed. This level, you'll understand how it works in time. You can ask us in the classroom if you'd like some clarification, but it is essentially what your margin is being multiplied by to hold this position. Now, if this number falls below 30% or is equal to 30%, you are no longer able to keep the position open and you will be automatically liquidated. Your balance here is displayed. This is the actual amount of money in your account, barring any positions that you might close, any active positions that you might close. Here's the equity, right? And what the equity is the amount of currency that you would have were you to close all of your active positions. Margin, this is what is currently in use of your account. So in my case, it is 0.1181, which is what I needed to fund that one lot at 50x leverage. And here's my free margin. This is all the money that is not in use. So just a quick review. This is your balance. Your equity is your balance plus or minus everything you would get from closing your positions. Margin is the amount that is currently in use. And free margin is your balance minus your margin. Go ahead and close that position. If you have any more questions or if there's something you'd like clarified, just be sure to drop us a line in the classroom and tag one of our analysts and we'll be sure to help you out. I hope this information has been useful to you guys and wish you some happy trading. Thanks.